Welcome to the video game glitches iceberg. Tier 1. Missingno. Missingno is a glitched Pokemon you can come across in the original Pokemon Red and Blue games. To encounter it, you have to watch this old man teach you how to catch a Pokemon and then fly over to Cinnabar Island. There, if you use Surf along this east coast, you'll be able to come across some weird encounters. Some Pokemon being over level 100, some trainer battles that aren't usually there, and, well, Missingno. Missingno has multiple forms, and this is where it gets weird. To even be able to come across Missingno, you'd have to have any of these characters as the 3rd, 5th, or 7th letter of your character name. This also affects which version of Missingno will appear. Encountering Missingno can also let you do a number of exploits that lets you duplicate items. Cartridge tilting. Cartridge tilting is something you could do with any console that used cartridges for its games. If the cartridge wasn't fully inserted, it would create some weird effects like this. So yeah, you could get anything from weird ragdoll physics to extremely crazy visuals. And this worked on any console with a cartridge. You could even do it on a Leapster. Minus World. Minus World is a weird sort of secret world in the original Mario game. After getting to the end of level 1-2, if you do a backwards jump into this pipe, it'll let you walk through these blocks here into this other area with another pipe. If you keep moving, it'll load a warp zone, but if you move just enough so it doesn't load the next zone, and go down the pipe, you'll be sent to this Minus World. Not a real secret level, as it's just a duplicate of a later water level, but for some reason it's glitched out, and the world name is -1. Backwards long jump. The backwards long jump, or BLJs as they're called, is one of the most popular speedrunning techniques in Mario 64. In this game, if you do a long jump on a set of stairs while holding backwards and mashing the A button right when you touch the ground, Mario will gain enough momentum to pass through a star door. So yeah, without this, the speedrun would be entirely different and way more difficult. Red Ring of Death. Yeah, I know, I just gave some flashbacks to some of you guys. The Red Ring of Death was, and still is, probably one of the biggest problems in gaming history. When the original Xbox 360 came out, there was a massive issue that caused the whole console to break, and get this red ring where the power button was. It turns out this was an issue with the connectors. The connectors in the console got too hot or changed temperature too often, they would break. This problem occurred on a little over half of the original consoles, which may not sound like a whole lot, but it was a $500 million loss for Microsoft. Obviously, this didn't shut them down or tarnish the 360's reputation completely, but it was a very massive issue. In later versions of the 360 it was fixed, so even if your console was from a year after launch, it'll be fine. Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, this entry is on an entire game because Cyberpunk was one of the most highly anticipated games of 2020, and it had one of the most rough launches. Unless you were playing on a very good gaming PC, which still had a good number of glitches, the game was a mess. Filled with glitches and performance issues worse than most games ever. It was so bad that it was removed from the stores of the PS4 and Xbox One, as it only ran somewhat well on the newest generation of consoles, which at the time were being scalped, so good luck playing it there. But these glitches ranged from anywhere from cars spawning inside of your car to headless people walking around fine to NPCs just disappearing. It was one of the messiest launches ever and still has some of the most glitches that any game has. I Am Error. As a joke for the joke of a Zelda game, yeah, this one's really bad, Nintendo named an NPC in Zelda 2 Error. Yeah, this isn't a glitch or anything, but it was made to seem like it was. It'd be insane to see Nintendo do anything like this nowadays. Tier 2. The Farlands. The Farlands is one of the most infamous glitches for Minecraft players. In older versions of the game, once you got around 12.5 million blocks away from spawn, the Farlands would generate. This massive wall of odd terrain is the Farlands. This became so popular in the Minecraft community that it was even a part of Minecraft Story Mode, the Telltale Minecraft game. The Farlands were generated off a random noise map made in the files of Minecraft, just because the game couldn't handle the map being that big. It's since been removed with the addition of this border and PCs getting better, but I think I speak for most Minecraft players when I say it'd be amazing to have it back. GTA 4 Swing Set. If you drive a car into this swing set in GTA 4, you'll be sent flying. Even though GTA 4 got lots of updates, DLCs, and multiplayer support, this glitch was never patched. Corrupted Blood Plague. The Corrupted Blood Plague is a very strange tale of a glitch-turned real-life case study. In World of Warcraft, there was a boss that would give you an effect that would make your character shoot out blood and eventually kill you. Well, this effect spread like a disease during the boss fight, making the party split up during the fight. And this is fine, right? You know, just an effect for a boss, no issue with that. It was meant to split people up. Well, there was one glitch that was a massive oversight by Blizzard. The pets you could get in the game could also get this status effect, and once you unsummoned them, for some reason, they kept this effect on. And that's the glitch. And you know, when you resummon them, it would cause the sort of outbreak to happen again. Well, you can see where this is going. So, deadly boss fight turned into a dispersible on-command virus. Yeah, someone took their infected pet to one of the major cities in the game, where most people would be, and unleashed the plague. This way of spreading it affected multiple servers, since the strategy of doing it got out. But it was multiple days on end of people getting the plague, running around the city in panic, and giving it to another person before they die, and repeat. Overall, this plague ended up spreading to 4 million players across all major cities in the game, leaving corpses of players littered throughout these now desolate cities. People had to hide away from the infected zones while waiting for the so-called vaccine that was the patch for the game. What's really interesting about this outbreak, though, is that people acted in-game as they would in real life. You know, obviously not trying to get the virus and using real-life logic to hide in certain places. Well, because of this, it turned into an actual case study that the CDC did, the Center for Disease Control. And the similarities between this in-game outbreak and COVID or any other outbreak were pretty insane. There were people giving out warnings to avoid main cities, sort of medics in a way, playing healer classes trying to get lower level players out by healing them and putting themselves at risk. I mean, this was treated in-game how you would treat it in real life. Just a super interesting and wild story of a glitch that turned into scientific value. Shaun Heavy Rain Glitch. There's a part of the game Heavy Rain where you have to call out to a character named Shaun by pressing a button over and over. Well, the glitch will let you do this in cinematics for the game, and it's pretty goofy to say the least.
Ethan. I can prove your innocence.
Congratulations, Ethan. You succeeded.
Ermac. Ermac is now a pretty popular Mortal Kombat character, but his technically first appearance wasn't even official. In the first Mortal Kombat game, there was a glitch that made your character's name turn into Ermac and the character went fully red. The name Ermac is short for Error Macross, an error that could happen in the old arcade cabinet versions of the game. And the character was red since that was the original character model that was used for motion capture of the game. This glitch turned very popular, and since people thought it was meant to be a secret character, and with how popular it was, Ermac was made into an official selectable character later on in the franchise in Mortal Kombat 3. Now, he's a mainstay, popular Mortal Kombat character. Daisy's third eye. In Smash Bros. Melee, for some reason, Daisy has 3 eyes on her model. 2 in the front, obviously, but also one on the back of her head. It's only viewable through the trophy menu, since she isn't a playable character, but yeah, for some reason she has 3 eyes. Mystery Goomba. In Super Mario 64, Goombas are a pretty common occurrence. And one thing you may or may not have noticed is that they always spawn in 3, in a triangle pattern. Well, this is how they seem to all be coded. Except, what about this platform? There's only 2 of them when they spawn in. Well, it turns out there is 3, or at least for a frame there was. Since this platform isn't big enough to house all 3 Goombas, one of them spawns off of the platform, spawning at the bottom of the world where the kill barrier is. So yeah, the 3rd Goomba for this spawn does actually exist, just only for a single frame of life. Hanging Luigi. In the original Luigi's Mansion, there's a glitch that causes the shadow of Luigi to look like he's hanging from the ceiling. Luckily, this is just a glitch though. Nintendo obviously never intended for this to be a thing. And it happens because when a source of light makes a shadow of Luigi in the original version of the game, the shadow is based off of where the camera is facing. And in this room, the camera is oddly low. So the angle of the camera with the scripted lightning lighting up the room, yeah, it makes it look like Luigi is hanging, jumping over the flagpole Super Mario Bros. In the original Super Mario Bros. Game, In the first level, there's a way to jump over the flagpole, but it requires some glitches and practice. If you align Mario just right and jump to the left of the screen right at this moment, when the Koopa is heading there, you'll be able to kill every enemy on the screen. And sure, this glitch is already pretty cool, but what expands upon it is when the Koopa returns under the ground, letting you actually jump over the flagpole at the end. But how do you do that? Well, if you let the Koopa get to the end of the level and wait right for this moment to jump off the stairs, you'll be able to mid-air get the kill for the Koopa, boosting you upwards and over the flagpole. At this point, you just get to run infinitely, with nothing ever appearing. Level wraps. In Sonic 2, there's a glitch you could do called a level wrap, where once you're able to get Sonic and Tails off the screen, you can sort of just phase through the level. It's weird and quite a bit hard to pull off and even describe, but after performing this, you'll be able to move through the entire level pretty much, bypassing every single obstacle, jump, enemy. I mean, the whole level is pretty much done as soon as you do this, and it's used in all of the speedruns for the game. Tier 3. Video game corruptions. Video game corruptions can happen for many different reasons. Maybe it's a disc that's scratched, or you tried modding your game in a certain way, messing up a file, but it can cause some pretty funny looking glitches.
That manicure's fucking wrong. Enough already. Clean 'em up.
Nuclear Gandhi. Due to a glitch with Gandhi's code, yeah, that Gandhi, in the original Civilization games, Gandhi would become extremely aggressive. Like, really aggressive. In Civilization, the aggressiveness of other leaders in the game is usually a scale between 1 and 10, 1 being pacifist while 10 is wanting to take over everyone. Well, for some reason Gandhi broke this. His aggression level would glitch out and go to 255. While at this point, Gandhi would nuke you. Now in every sequel Civilization game in the series, Gandhi has a purposely put in chance of doing this. And that's how I lost my first game of Civilization. I got nuked by Gandhi. Ascension of the Jackdaw glitch. In Assassin's Creed Black Flag, there was a glitch where the Jackdaw, the main character's ship, would sink to the bottom of the ocean, leaving the crew behind floating in the air. Well, that's just the start of the glitch. The crew would suddenly start ascending into the heavens, and once all the crew was gone, the Jackdaw would be back in place like nothing happened. That's just the average Ubisoft experience. Pokémon Bad Egg. A bad egg is something that would appear in a Pokémon game if you decided to cheat or if your game somehow got corrupted. This bad egg would appear if a data check ever went wrong, like if a stat of a Pokémon you had was higher than possible or meant to be, it would turn into this. Aside from that, luckily it doesn't affect anything else in the game, but it does take up a slot in the PC and completely ruin a Pokemon, making it unusable. Glitch City. In the original Pokemon Red and Blue games, there was a place people nicknamed Glitch City, and it was weird to get to, obviously needing to trigger a glitch, but I can't imagine it was easy to stumble across this on your own. If you enter the Safari Zone and immediately ask to leave and then decline leaving, you can then save and reset your game, and you'll be in the Safari Zone. Well, when you go to leave again, the guy will welcome you to the Safari Zone, as if you're not already in it. So, being inside of this Safari Zone, at this point you have 500 steps until the step counter triggers and teleports you back to the start of the Safari Zone. But with this glitch happening, you could walk outside of the zone. So after you run through all of your steps, you'll get teleported to the entrance of the Safari Zone like normal, but upon leaving, the game gets confused, since you were likely so far away getting the steps to go down, and it causes this to happen. This is Glitch City, a complete mess of the game's code that looks like a city. Sometimes you'll be able to walk around the city, sometimes you'll be able to surf, but yeah, this jumbled mess of code is what a lot of people have coined Glitch City. You ever wonder what the bottom of an Avatar shoe looks like? At an event showing off the Kinect for the Xbox 360, a motion sensor that would detect how you're moving, the announcer went to show what the bottom of the Avatar's shoe looked like, and it glitched out a bit. Tier 4. Manimals Red Dead Redemption. In the original Red Dead Redemption, there was a glitch that caused the animals in the game to use the models of human characters. These abominations were coined manimals. So we got things like snake-human hybrids and pig-human hybrids. I mean, with how many animals are in Red Dead, there was a lot of variety with these abominations. Fallout New Vegas spinning head glitch. In early versions of Fallout New Vegas, there was a glitch where the NPCs that you talked to would just sort of spin their heads around. It was patched pretty early on after release, but day one this was a very common experience to come across. Undertale Punch Card Exploit. If you've ever played Undertale, you may recognize this punch card. If not, don't worry, it's not super important. That is, unless you're a speedrunner. There's a glitch with opening the punch card that while triggering a cutscene, it'll let you move freely while the cutscene is happening. So in pretty much every speedrun for Undertale, most of them will flash up this card and move through all of the cutscenes that would normally stop you from doing anything. Castle Crush Glitch Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy Kong Quest. In the Castle Crush level of Donkey Kong Country 2, if you pick up this barrel here, you can trigger a really weird glitch. If you keep holding the barrel against the wall and break the barrel, but a few frames after try picking it up again, you'll see Diddy Kong holding nothing. Well, if you try throwing this nothing, you'll get some odd results. Along with the weird visuals, it can sometimes corrupt the cartridge or ROM that you're playing on. 3 tent glitch Earthbound. In Earthbound, if you go to this tent and try interacting with a corner, something weird will happen. After interacting with it 3 times and it's saying no problem here, it'll just start spitting out the letter Q for a really long time. This happens because the map of Earthbound is all just a massive image, and at the bottom right of this image is the interior of the tent. Well, when interacting with the rightmost edge of the tent, it may end up detecting something that doesn't really exist outside of the borders of the map, causing this glitch to occur. 1,000 Voices Scream Destiny 2. The gun 1,000 Voices in Destiny 2 had a glitch that was just awful. It's really funny for sure, but the version of it I'm about to play for you I turned down a lot. The glitch was, when you fired the gun, it would make an extremely loud, almost scream-like sound. Here. This was later referenced in one of the skins for the gun and obviously patched. Tier 5. TikTok Clock Up Warp. Mario 64 is known for speedrunning and has been for a while. That's why 9 years ago, when this upwarp glitch was discovered, that no one had even knew about, the YouTuber Panenkoic2012 put out a bounty for whoever could replicate this extremely hard to produce glitch and show how to do it, as it would be an insane skip for speedrunning. But to this day, it has yet to been claimed, so if you can somehow figure out how to do this seemingly frame-perfect glitch, you get a free $1,000. Ghost of Misery Mire. In The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, there's an apparent ghost that appears in Misery Mire. It was a sort of urban legend in this game. This ghost is normally unable to be seen, but if you use a Bombos medallion, you could set it on fire and seeing it moving around everywhere. It turns out that this is just a glitch. It's an invisible Fireball Zora enemy. Its movement is just bugged out, so it appears like a weird type of ghost. Silent Hill 2 Maria's Teeth Eye. In Silent Hill 2, the character Maria's eye texture will sometimes glitch out and swap textures with her teeth. Yeah, very creepy looking. PlayStation Underground Holiday 2004 Demo Disc Wiped Memory Cards. In late November of 2004, the PlayStation Underground magazine sent out 2 demo discs for subscribers. One M-rated, the other T-rated. The T-rated disc had a demo for Beautiful Joe 2. If the demo was played to completion, which was just more than the 20-minute timer on the disc, the game would crash. On reboot, checking out any memory cards that were plugged in revealed that they were unformatted. The glitch demo completely wiped the memory cards. Bloodborne Cannon Glitch. There's a weapon in Bloodborne that's just a cannon that fires really slowly but does a lot of damage. But you can perform a glitch that lets you fire it a little bit faster. Yeah, that entire boss fight was able to be done in 10 seconds. Ocarina of Time 3D's original glitches were intentionally preserved. A 3DS remake of Ocarina of Time seemed to keep a lot of bugs that were in the original release of the game, and it turns out this was intentional. When asked in an interview about it, the team who remade the game said the bugs were fun, and they didn't want to get rid of them. And somehow this was allowed, so a lot of the bugs in the original Ocarina of Time made it for the remake. And that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, week, month, and I'll see you in the next one.